All right, this is Maya, the July Patreon release from Ritual Casting. It's a 1/10 scale Kraken Priestess. So what you can see here is some tentacles wrapped around the body and around the base. Slightly different base than what you're normally accustomed to. A lot of the previous releases have had round scenic bases. In this case, this is more of a diorama setup. She's on a stone type slate that you can use for your diorama purposes. It's about 5 parts to assemble here, the 2 columns and the base, plus the 2 extra tentacle pieces. You can paint this without the 2 tentacles in a sub-assembly fashion and then attach them. Another thing to note about the base, this is where a lot of the focus was. The model is very detailed, as usual, but the added detail with the base here is if you imagine this flat part that you're looking at is now kind of the water level, you've got a lot of extra diorama pieces that you can print in, like these large tentacle pieces. This is just an extension. And this, if you can imagine, extends below the water surface to allow for you to have some watery scenics if you'd like, or just to raise the model up a little bit higher, however you want. And you can see another thing here, speaking of sub-assemblies, I assembled her just like this, with the head as a separate piece, just tacked on for now so you can see what she looks like. That just allows for you to get around the collar here and do some better work painting. Couple of options for printing this. First, her hands. There are chains binding her, or ropes that she is holding onto. It's just your preference. Also, legs are one big, large print. Hollowed out, of course. They all come pre-supported. The whole printout comes pre-supported. Her torso comes in a topless and a clothed version. I, of course, went with the suitable for work variant. And then there's different printouts for the head. You can print her with no hair, so bald, or like I did with a full head of hair. There's also a variation where you can print the hair and face separately if you wish to paint it. As usual, everything is capable of being magnetized. There are wells in everything. So a lot of options just to show you with the diorama. Adding into that this time, you saw the extensions. There's just a lot of details with tentacles that you can use to really bring this model to life around how she's designed. When you're assembling it, I recommend just like this, with or without the tentacles if you want to sub-assemble that, but you can print the body. When you're putting her together, dry fit, build the torso and legs together, and then dry fit the arms into these anchors, and then dry fit the anchored arms into the shoulders. Once the torso and legs are glued, and when you dry fit this together, they should fit together rather well, and you can glue the arm into the shoulder right here, leaving this not glued. So this is dry fit for now. I will eventually glue her in when she's finished. That allows 2 things. One, you can get around this model very, very well and get all the lighting that you want for any shadows in the flesh, everything like that, and get her painted up rather well. And you can paint the base up yourself separately and build up your diorama if you wish. So once you're done, if you just slowly feed the anchored arms into the base, you're good to go. So not a ton of variation in the model herself. Like I said, topless and not topless. A couple of different head variants and chain or rope grips. Well, not grips, but chain or ropes in her hands. A lot of the added depth and detail comes in these big tentacle pieces. Here's one that I just have kind of tacked together, so ignore the seams. This is mostly just kind of dry fit, ready for some kind of painting and priming. So they're huge. This isn't even the full length one. I don't have everything printed just yet for the diorama, but huge Kraken kind of hovering over top of her and behind her if you look at the artwork, and then extensions to allow for some flexibility in your diorama. So this is the default print with the head option. This is really what she looks like. If you want to expand her with the diorama pieces, you absolutely can. So this is it. This is Maya, and she is available to all July patrons right now, and she will be available in stores in August for everybody else to purchase. So I hope you liked this video. If you have any comments, please feel free to leave them in the comment section below.